thing.
Someone in chat say something. Oh, wait, hold up. My mom said Discord isn't working on her phone. Oh, never mind. We're good now.
Can y'all hear us?
Yeah, someone say something if you can hear us.
Yeah.
Yeah, or if you can hear them, or if you can hear them, or if you can
Yeah, if you can hear the... I thought you said we weren't going to acknowledge it.
Acknowledge what?
Oh, yeah, dude, you're right.
Okay, I guess no one can hear us. We can just talk to the void in the meantime.
Well, I mean, there's a delay.
Oh,
so.
True.
Hold on. Oh, we have 0 viewers.
Here, let me check on my phone. Oh, it's working.
Okay.
Yeah, we're good. Don't worry about it.
Okay.
People probably just got discombobulated, but I think we're fine now.
Okay. Hey, can you all hear us?
Probably. But
the bars were red for a while, and I was gonna mention that. I really hope that.
Yeah, I hope some of my talking got caught, but anyway.
That would be.
That's enough about God Emperor Dune. I say we continue unless we hear otherwise, because it's playing on my end. So.
Okay. Yeah. Say something if you're in the chat though, just in case, and we will power forward.
Yeah. And you can go on with your number 5.
So I went in order of the when I
Sorry.
I went in order of when I experienced it. Sound is good.
Oh,
okay. We're good. We're Gucci. So the first thing I put was Poor Things.
Oh,
did
that's
you
a
watch
good
this?
One. Yeah, I love the movie.
Okay, yeah.
And I read it actually.
It's a book?
Yeah, it's a book.
I didn't know that.
Mm-hmm.
Did you read before the book?
After.
Okay.
Mm-hmm.
Poor Things.
I saw that in December. I realized.
I saw it in. I actually was like, did I see that this year? But I saw it in early January.
Yeah,
so
I would have included that if I'd seen it.
Poor Things is honestly there's. This is my one I might not have as much to say about it because it's just it's not as fresh in my mind because it was at the beginning of the year, but talk about a movie I went into. I mean, I've seen some of the guys' movies Killing of a Sacred Deer, which is awesome.
Totally.
But also I hate that movie.
Yeah, but also totally different vibe.
But I didn't know what I was gonna think going into this, and I just absolutely loved it.
Yeah.
It's probably my movie of the decade so far, which I haven't seen a ton from this decade yet.
Yeah.
But in terms of just a movie that really feels like it was kind of made for me, that movie really just stuck out as this weird just the vibes are just crazy and it's so funny and the performances are amazing.
Yeah.
Willem Dafoe and Emma Stone and Mark Ruffalo, they're all awesome in that movie.
Yeah.
Emma Stone is hilarious.
Yeah.
I think that's I genuinely think that's that's gonna be remembered as one of the best performances
that
of.
She's also what's his name, Ruffalo.
He was awesome
really
too.
Funny.
Yeah, but Emma Stone's in particular is a generational performance. She was just incredible, and with the type of character she was playing too.
Yeah.
It's starts off basically as a
blank slate.
Baby in it.
Yeah.
And then just slowly through just sex and exploring the world.
Yeah.
Becomes more the thing. Conscious.
Yeah.
But also just it's just it's just such a good. It's such a fun movie to watch.
I think its soundtrack and cinematography and visuals are also just amazing.
Oh, the soundtrack is awesome. It's so weird. It reminds me of I genuinely had this thought of it reminds me of Song Tongs. Animal Collective. It's weird folk music.
Yeah.
And it's it's just the whole thing has like a bizarre vibe to it, but it's like so engaging.
It's also like for Yorgos's movies, it's like so much more uplifting. I feel like.
Oh yeah, no, it has really it has like the ending is hilarious because I mean I'm not going to spoil it because that's one of those things you don't want to spoil with what happens. Mm-hmm. It actually is like it almost went into a direction where I was like I don't know if I'm going to like the ending of this movie, but the way it resolves is hilarious, and also just like the last frame of the movie is like so it's like iconic. And it's just like it's like you can see I'm kind of like it's not as fresh in my mind, so I don't have like the best things I mean I have great things to say about it, but I don't have like the best words. But like it's just like anyone who hasn't seen that movie, like go see it. It's like it's like weird and like really really overtly sexual, which is like kind of might be a turnoff for some people. But like if you can kind of get past that, it's really engaging and just like and fun and like a great time. So
go to a movie. Yeah, I love that one as well. Dope.
Yeah.
I guess I should go ahead with my number 4.
Yeah.
Okay, let me double check. I just want to see the order that I'm doing these in. I feel like I'm doing these. I think I didn't really pay attention to my order, but I think it was kind of like. I think I'm kind of doing it from like least known to most known thing that people know about. So.
But can I say something from mine, just like real quick? I'm sorry to interrupt you. I just want to say I'm doing the same thing I did last time with our 5. I didn't include Blonde.
Oh, I did the same thing also. Yeah.
Yeah, I didn't include Blonde because we did a whole episode on it.
Yeah, I didn't include. I was gonna, because like as far as movies go, I would have included Look Back or or
was TV Glow.
TV Glow as one of them, but I did not.
Yeah.
Because we already talked about it. So I have another movie to talk about, but that comes. I think that's my very last one. So next one, this one's also book adjacent, but it's a manga.
Oh.
A manga, and that is Chainsaw Man Part 2.
That they have parts. Part 2. Mm-hmm. Interesting.
Yeah. And yeah, that. I mean, it's like kind of hard to say. So okay, I think I read almost all of Chainsaw Man that's out. I think this year, or maybe kind of at the end of last year. But yeah, so I like went back and reread specifically the ones that came out this year because it's like a weekly series, or it comes out either every week or every other week. And I've been reading it as it comes out, and yeah, I mean that series is just like never disappoints.
Yeah.
Like I think it's been one of the most fun like weekly manga reading experiences I've ever had. Like it's just so, in my opinion, so consistent and so like unexpected simultaneously. Like it never kind of goes in the direction that you're expecting, but it's still really like satisfying and interesting for that.
Yeah, ever since I saw Look Back, I've been like wanting to.
You should definitely.
I think I would enjoy it.
You should definitely read it. I have the first 10 volumes.
Really?
Physically.
Oh, that's awesome.
So I actually just lent the first volume to Nick, so whenever he gets that back, I can send them your way. But the anime is also really good. I think the anime is only like the first like 4 volumes or something. So
I feel like that seems like one that I would want to read the manga.
Yeah, no, you should definitely read the manga in any case, but the anime is really good too. Like, the animation is awesome. It's like clear that the people who made it really wanted to like replicate his style, and I think it was good. I will say, I mean, this isn't really the series' fault at all, but it is one of those situations where I feel like the fan base is like completely insufferable.
Oh yeah.
Every time I see anyone have any kind of take about Chainsaw Man, I like go ballistic. Like it's like so stupid. It's like the most basic, like Anyway,
like no reading comprehension.
Yeah, it's like that kind of thing.
Media
it's also
literacy.
It's like, I mean, it's a shonen, right? So it kind of is. You know, the main audience is like younger men and boys, and it's like, it really messes with the formula in a lot of ways.
Yeah.
And without spoiling too much, there is kind of a female protagonist at points in the series, or like deuteragonist, I guess, depending on how you look at it. But yeah, and she's like amazing. She's like one of my favorite characters.
What's her name? Like Power? Isn't there a
No.
character named Power?
There is a character named Power, but it's not Power.
Okay.
The character I'm talking about is manga only so far.
Okay.
But yeah, the chapters that have come out this year have been about her, and like, yeah, it's like just really really good. It's hard not to spoil it, but there's just like a lot of crazy moments that happen. There's like an Evangelion reference that's like in maybe like the most contentious chapter that came out this year. And people hated it too. Like people hated it.
Did you like it?
I loved it. Oh, like yeah. It's just like nuts. Like I mean I think people want like cool fights and like power fantasy type thing, and that's like not what they're getting.
Was it like the like last 2 episodes of Evangelion?
I wouldn't say it's like quite that level,
but like the reaction was like it.
Oh yeah, I mean I feel like the reaction to, I mean like there's like cool fights, and like ultimately it is like still doing stuff more or less within shonen territory, but like it also just like embarrasses and abuses the main character a lot. So yeah, people don't like that. I mean, people don't like it for different reasons, and there's kind of like a Tumblr crowd of like fans, which like I can understand and appreciate more than kind of like the media illiterate boys who are like, bro, there's like no fighting. The arc fell off. This manga sucks, bro.
Yeah.
Like, and like that I can't stand. But yeah, nonetheless, really loved reading Chainsaw Man this year. It was a real blast. Awesome series. Awesome time reading it.
Yeah. Dude, dab me up for that one, bro. Yeah. My next one is actually one that you brought up, which is actually I'm bending the rules a little bit.
Okay.
For this one, 2 of them I'm bending the rules a little bit because technically this isn't the first time I watched this.
Okay.
But mine is End of Evangelion. It's my second time watching End of Evangelion, but the first time I watched it was in high school, like on my computer monitor.
I think it was the same thing for me, but in undergrad, I also watched it on my computer.
Yeah, I feel like I didn't get like the best. I loved it then, but like I don't feel like I got like the full experience.
Yeah.
And then this year they had a showing of it in theaters, and I was just kind of like, I was just kind of like, like I don't go see movies that often.
I feel like that counts for came out this year.
Just
because it was in theaters this year.
Yeah.
Like, yeah.
I was just like, and I kind of made like the, what's the word, like kind of in the moment decision, like very like I was just like the day it was showing, I was like, you know what, I'll go see End of Evangelion. Like I was like, I might not like remember some of the context behind some of the things that happening because I haven't seen the show since high school.
Yeah.
So I was just like, I'll probably like it's. I remember it being standalone enough.
Yeah, I feel like if you know the character archetypes.
That's kind of how I was feeling.
Yeah.
And so I went to see it, and it changed my life. I think like this is probably the most impactful thing out of anything that I experienced this year in terms of art.
Oh yeah.
And I guess like it's kind of hard to. This is another one that's kind of hard to talk about, not because it's like not as fresh in my mind, but just because this movie is so like abstract.
Yeah.
With like the emotions it's dealing with.
It really is. Yeah.
It's hard to really like. It's kind of like the first time I watched like 2001: A Space Odyssey, where it's like I don't really know what that meant. But like I know it changed my life. But I know it changed my life. Like it gave me that deep feeling of just like something that I know like this is like this deeply impacted me.
Yeah.
And it was kind of the same with End of Evangelion. I think it's a little more clear with like the emotions it's going with, but like the presentation is almost more abstract.
Yeah. I mean it's really out there. Yeah.
But I will say this, easily the best like theater experience I've ever had with a movie.
Wow. I can imagine, yeah.
not mainly just for like watching like the experience of being in a theater. Like this movie is like made for that.
Yeah, maybe next time that happens, I don't. Is that like a yearly thing or like every other year?
I don't know when they're gonna do it again.
Yeah, I feel like I should. Abby and I should watch Evangelion, like the series leading up to that, because I know we've talked about watching it a bunch.
Yeah, but they're showing Angel's Egg.
Angel's Egg? What's that?
That's directed by Ghost in the Shell. Never been released in the U.S.
I didn't know that.
But yeah, I'm excited about that. That's a great movie.
Yeah.
Interesting. But the other like theater experience that rivals that, funnily enough, is like Star Wars: The Force Awakens.
Really?
And the reason for that is because of like the audience interaction with that.
Oh yeah.
That was just so fun. Like that's not a great movie.
Yeah.
But like that, it was.
Everyone like the.
And everyone was like,
yeah.
It was just like everyone like. It was awesome, just like being a Star Wars fan and just being there, and like whenever Han Solo showed up, everyone like was. And it was opening night, and so it was like that was great. But and also also the other one that I saw this year, I guess this can be an honorable mention, but I just saw Interstellar in IMAX, and that was insane.
Really?
Yeah.
I can imagine.
My god,
that's so loud.
It is.
It's so loud.
It's so good. But yeah, I think the most.
Was that the first time you'd seen it?
Or? Like third time, I think. Okay. But my favorite part of End of Evangelion is, I guess this is just, I mean, it is a spoiler, but I feel like this is like such an important thing to talk about, like with like the impact of it.
Yeah.
Was putting the credits in the middle. I like that. I feel like is actually like so genius because like you get the middle with the credits and you just kind of have to sit through it and that's fine. And then the ending scene happens, and it's like, and it's like so, it's an iconic scene.
Yeah.
And then it happens, and then it just shows up, and then it shows like a white screen for like 5 seconds. This is like end, and then movie turns off, lights in the theater go on.
Yeah.
It's just like I was just like flabbergasted.
Yeah.
I was like absolutely just like
that. I mean, it gives a totally different vibe to the ending. I feel like.
Yeah, like I like. It made me really like understand why that they made that decision. Like just kind of like going into it like like that. It's just like, and just like the things that End of Evangelion like talks about, like it's like weird. It's like a mix of optimism and pessimism.
Yeah.
Like to a degree, and like I like really appreciate
it's like ambiguous.
Like because it's like. It's kind of like like Shinji like. God, I don't even know how to put it into words. Yeah, it's like genuinely complicated.
I can't tell if it's talking about like literally like TW like suicide, or if it's talking about like collective happiness. Like it's like so ambiguous what is happening in the movie. If it's like an absolutely horrible, depressing outcome, or like a really joyful one, like it's so.
I think my interpretation is kind of like. It's like kind of like the tough decision to make, but like the one that he kind of had to. This kind of like, because like I mean like you see the outcome and it's not like good. Like you see how the Earth is and this isn't like good.
Yeah.
But like I mean, is that better than just like? Is that better or worse than just like what Shinji was wanting? It was just like I guess like humanity just like.
Sucking.
Yeah. I don't even.
Yeah, there's some interesting ambiguity to it that I think helps make it so abstract and like impactful.
Yeah.
But yeah. I gotta see that in theaters. That sounds like it'd be really fun.
If they show it, I hope they show it again.
I'm sure they would.
They probably will.
Yeah. One of these days.
Yeah.
But yeah. Cool. So that was your number 2, right?
Yeah.
Okay. So for mine, number 3. This one is a video game. Actually, I don't know. I think it came out this year. It might have come out. Yeah, no, it definitely came out this year officially. But it's like I think especially relative to the things that we've been talking about here, it's like not very like deep, but it's Balatro, the video game.
That came out this year. I'm pretty sure.
Yeah. So that game I really enjoyed. It's like, if you don't know, it's pretty much just like a roguelike card game, which, like, I like roguelikes, so I'm predisposed to it. I'm like indifferent on card games, I guess. But it's just one of those games that, like, I don't know, I think having like a problem solving and like mathy type brain really like hooked me. And I feel like the presentation and vibes and music in that game are just like really unique and one of a kind, and the vibe of it is really cool. It's just I don't know, it feels like, I mean, it's like a real like arcadey type game, and less so like an arty type game. But I don't know, it's every once in a while it's like fun to play something like that, and I think it just like what it set out to do, I feel like it succeeded really well, like better than like maybe anything else of that type of game.
Yeah.
So, yeah, I think it was awesome and really fun. And
I think you gifted me it.
Yeah,
I need to play it.
Yeah, yeah, highly recommend it. But just like definitely play it when you don't mind losing a lot of free time.
Yeah,
because it's really, yeah, you get really sucked into it. But
yeah, that's one thing about like games like that, is that I kind of am afraid of it, like because now like I have work and shit.
Yeah,
so like I really value my free time a lot
yeah.
more.
I understand.
So, but like I'll definitely like play it.
Yeah.
I'm interested because like normally I'm not into like deck builder.
Yeah, it's like
games.
not really like that, because it's like, I would call it like a combination between like solitaire and poker.
Yeah.
Like where it's like you're playing just like by yourself, but you're trying to get as many like poker hands as possible that like gives you a high score. You just kind of have to play it, and like I think after a few rounds you really get the hang of it. But it's really fun. I like it.
Yeah. So I guess going into my next one.
Yeah.
My next one is a video game too, and it's actually this one might be. This is kind of an interesting one.
Okay.
It's Silent Hill Shattered Memories on the Wii.
Okay. I'm not sure if I'm even familiar with this, really.
So after the first 4 Silent Hill games, they started outsourcing the games to like Western studios, and so that's when we got games that were not. Most of them weren't received very well.
Yeah.
So there was Origins.
Oh yeah.
Which I like personally, just because it's like, I mean, like the story and shit isn't that interesting.
Yeah.
It just feels like, but it just plays like Silent Hill 1.
I just realized I had a dream like last night that I was in Silent Hill.
Whoa.
Like I haven't played the game for a while, but I remember it was very vivid. I like had the plank and I was like hitting the like.
That's
like,
awesome.
Those things. Yeah, I don't know why. I like just it was like seared into my mind. Anyway, sorry.
But and then after Origins, it was Homecoming, which is a horrible game that I despise and that I didn't finish.
Okay.
So I went to the next one in the series, which is Shattered Memories. And Shattered Memories is a Wii exclusive. It's not a Wii exclusive. They had a PS2 and PSP port that came out after. But it's built for the Wii. And it is among my favorite in the series.
Interesting.
It's so good. It's like I mean, people are kind of mixed on it.
Yeah.
But like it has a very dedicated following. Like it's probably the most acclaimed of the
like
Western
bad ones.
Yeah. But like some people really love it, and I'm definitely in that camp where it like the thing about it is that it's like a soft reboot it's like a soft remake of the first one. It has the same like setup.
Interesting.
But it goes in a completely different direction with it. It's just like same setup, Harry Mason gets in a car crash. Cheryl goes missing. Looks for Cheryl. But like the way like it does it is like there's no combat in the game. It's all exploration.
That's kind of cool.
And you and like the reason it's for the Wii is because like you use the flashlight with the Wii, and it's like it's kind of gimmicky, but at the same time I actually like it.
Do you get like is there like monsters that you run away from?
Yeah, okay. There's like parts of the game, and that's actually the worst part of the game is the parts where you have to run away from the monsters and like shake the Wii remote to get them off of you. Those parts are kind of bad, but like they're not that frequent. There's like 3 or 4 parts of the game where you have to do that, and it's like a 6-hour game.
So it's mostly just like the setting then.
Yeah, but like, and then there's like little puzzles you have to solve in places, and it's just like a really engaging gameplay experience for the series, and it's like a genuinely like cool change of pace.
Yeah, it sounds interesting.
And like I think that's like it like really like exemplifies like the spirit of the series. I feel like in the sense that like I feel like it's why it's kind of a shame that they just like changed to Western devs after 4 because 4 was really like such a different game.
Yeah.
And that's to the point where it like polarized people. Where like people hate that game.
Dang.
People are like really mixed on it. I love 4, but
what would you say is the primary reason? Like what is different about it?
Kind of gets into spoilers.
Is it woke?
No. It's the combat's different.
Okay.
The setup is different.
And it's still like a horror game?
Oh yeah, and but it's also like it gets to a point where it's very player hostile.
And I like that.
Yeah, I like it too. Yeah. At first I was like, no, but like it genuine. I'll tell you one thing.
Is that the room or is that?
It's the room, yeah. Okay. So like that's like in that game the room that like your partner room.
Yeah.
It's like where you go back to like heal.
Yeah.
And there's a point in the game where it just stops doing that.
Yeah, I think I've heard about that.
It stops doing that, and not only that, it introduces these things like called hauntings that hurt you.
Yeah.
So like at that point in the game, the only thing that really like heals you and like is your sense of comfort starts to just like attack, like be straight up hostile towards you. And it's like, but that I played last year, so that's old news. Shattered Memories is just like really engaging and like I feel like takes the setup of 1 and makes it into something like really interesting, and like it's psychological, and this also kind of gets into corny territory with like the like literally like the beginning of the game is like it's like on the splash screen it's like warning, this game psychologically analyzes you. It's kind of like awesome. But like there are like parts of it where like you're in therapy and like being asked these questions and like you can answer them however you want, and that's like how the ending and stuff is decided. It's based on like what you say. Or like and like different stuff about the game, like Sybil, like the original cop from the game, like changes like it's kind of interesting. Like she can be like either like just like regular like cop, like or she could be like a slutty cop, depending on like what you wow. I that makes it sound bad, but like but like no, like I don't, some things I'm saying are underselling it, but like Shattered Memories is like genuinely really interesting and really impactful, and like the therapy thing, there is like a twist with it that I'm not gonna say because it's like really impactful.
Okay.
And I think it's probably like my 3rd favorite series. Like after 2 and 3, it's probably Shattered Memories.
There's like another game that does like a therapy thing. It's like Until Dawn. Do you know that game?
Yeah.
I think it does that. It does that to like find what you think is most scary, and then it puts it in the game.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But like, I think Shattered Memories is really unique, and I'm glad they made it. And it's also written by what's the guy's name? Sam Barlow. He did like? Do you know Her Story?
That sounds familiar, but I don't remember.
Sam Barlow, I think, is his name.
Barlow.
Her Story. Yeah, this game.
Oh wait, yeah, I think it's on my wish list. I remember seeing stuff about it, but then I didn't.
And Immortality. He's like a famous game writer.
Cool.
I think kind of controversial, but like this game I think is written really well. So nice. I'm very glad I played it. And I just have one more Silent Hill game to play, which is Down 4, which I played a little bit of and genuinely liked.
And then the remake.
Oh, and I need to play Silent. I'm replaying Silent Hill 2, the original.
Oh, nice.
I've been kind of slow with it, but
Yeah.
I want to replay.
I tried getting Abby into it.
You were telling me about this, and she couldn't.
The controls are too
Old.
Weird. Yeah, which I understand.
Yeah.
Yeah, cool. So that was your number 3.
Yeah.
All right, on to number 4, second to last one. This is an album. And this is, I'll just say it. It's MGMT's Loss of Life. I think that's what it's called.
Oh, interesting.
Yeah, I really love this album. And I feel like nobody's talking about it.
Yeah, it kind of came and went. I listened to it once and I liked it.
Yeah,
I didn't really think that much of it.
I've been listening to it. I mean, okay, technically it's not my most listened to album. My most listened to album, which this is like a what do you call it? Well, I'll just say it when we're doing the honorable mentions. But yeah, it's not my most listened to album, but I don't know, for some reason I feel like the themes of that album and like the vibe of it like stuck with me the most, and had me coming back the most. I don't know, it's like a kind of a, maybe not like huge, but like a pretty noticeable departure from their older stuff.
Yeah, for sure.
And I heard that was like kind of contentious, and some people didn't like it.
Yeah, it's kind of got a little more of a mixed response. Than
which ones. Yeah, I don't know. It's like maybe my favorite thing that they've made, and I really like a lot of their albums.
Oh, they're awesome.
I really like Little Dark Age when that came out. Now that's a TikTok album.
Is it?
Yeah.
That doesn't actually surprise me.
Yeah.
It does kind of like. I guess anything can become a TikTok album.
Yeah, but it's like like the Little Dark Age, like Dead Ends in My Mind. Like they do like Sigma edits to that.
No, I know what you're. I've actually seen those.
Yeah. So.
I like the video with the 2 cats, and it's like me and Michael.
Yeah, that one's good. God, that album's really good.
It's awesome.
Yeah, but I really like this one. It's like definitely way darker, and like especially the last song on the album is like depressing. Honestly, it's like I was listening to it on my commute a lot, and every time that one plays I have to like skip it because it's like genuinely sad. But
I remember the vibe being a little more like, I guess Little Dark Age was too, but like a different kind. It feels more like 80s.
I feel like Little Dark Age was like scary.
It's like goth.
Scary goth vibe, and Loss of Life is just like depressing.
Yeah.
Like it's not only depressing, and I wasn't sad while listening to it necessarily, but like especially like the themes. Like there's one song that I really like that's like it talks about like Sisyphus, Nothing Changes, which like it's like depressing, like Nothing Changes. But I don't know, it's just like a really beautiful album. And there's also one called like Sadie's Song or something like that. That's like a nice little ballad for a child. Sounds like kind of vibe.
What was the one I saw? There was a song called like Bubblegum Dog.
Oh, that was like my least favorite one. Honestly,
that was like that was the one that I think that was the one that stood out to me.
That was one that people liked the most. I noticed.
Yeah, I think it was a single.
I liked it. Yeah, it was a single. I did like it. But that one was like, it's more like upbeat and weird compared to the others. It's like Bubblegum Dog.
Yeah.
Tell me what you're in. Like that kind of thing. I like it. I like that song, but I like their other single more. Mother Nature.
Oh, and that might have been the one.
Yeah, that was the one that I liked a lot. I can't remember it now, but yeah, I love that album. It's just like, I don't know, I don't listen to, I mean, I've been listening the most to like electronic music, I guess, but this one is like the only like thing outside of my kind of like brand that has been like on repeat constantly.
Yeah.
And yeah, just a blast. I wish more people were like listening to it.
I'll have to give it another shot.
Yeah, I like it a lot.
My next one is also music.
Oh, nice. We like line these up almost.
Yeah. But mine is a musical artist.
Oh. Just like an artist in general?
Yeah.
Okay.
And this one is probably the most like, it's kind of like the Ballatro, whatever. Okay. It's kind of like that.
Yeah.
Mine is Future.
Nice.
So I've listened to Future. I had listened to Future before. Like Monster, that mixtape was like really highly rated on Rate Your Music, so I listened to it, and at first I didn't really like it. That was like a few years ago.
Yeah.
But this year, Future had a really big year because of his album with Metro Boomin, the We Don't Trust You, which had Like That, which is the song that started the Kendrick Drake beef.
Yes,
and which had the Kendrick feature.
It's just Big Me.
Yeah, which is an awesome feature, and I love that song. But kind of like that, like I always kind of like thought of Future not really as like an artist, more of just like kind of like a generic like trap artist.
Yeah, he's kind of like a meme dude, I feel like. Or
a little bit.
I feel like I don't know if you follow like Hyperpop Daily. I feel like they post about him. Like,
yeah, because he has a crazy voice. There's like the clip of him like talking about cheesecake.
Yeah.
He's like, it tastes like cheesecake. And he's like, sensational. It's awesome. Nice. Like his voice, you can't replicate it. He has such like a weird, deep voice.
Interesting.
But I just like, I started by me listening to DS2, which is like his classic album, has like a bunch of his hits on it. Nice. That album, like on first listen, was super, like I thought it was awesome. And then so I just like this year I listened to all of his albums that were like on streaming, all of his mixtapes. Yeah. And I think like I like See the Vision now. I see why like he's
a sensational individual.
Yeah, like it's like he's not like, well, first of all, like I thought of him as like the generic trap artist a little bit, but that was kind of me not knowing that like he is the OG. Oh, like he he was making music like early 2010s.
Wow. I didn't realize that.
Yeah, like and Monster like came out in like 2014. DS2 was like 2015. Like it was like very early on like that sound. Yeah. And like he's thought of as like a mumble crapper. But like he
I like still will hear people randomly like complain about that. And I'm just like, I forget, like people are genuinely like, mumble rap. Like
but he was kind of the first person to do that, and but like his voice is like crazy and like deep, so like it sounds like really cool.
Yeah.
And like his music is just like, it's like both a vibe, but like he has like genuine like interesting emotions behind it.
Yeah.
And it kind of gets into what we were talking about earlier with like, I don't think he's like there's like a meme that he's like really toxic. He doesn't have like allegations or anything.
Okay.
But like a lot of his music is like can get kind of into like the misogyny, which is hip hop, so like that makes sense. But
so it's okay.
But not. But I'm saying that like, you know, like,
it comes with the territory.
But like his music kind of goes like a step beyond sometimes, where it gets into like a kind of hateful territory.
Yeah.
But like but like honestly, this might sound fucked up. Some of his best songs are those songs. Like genuinely.
You're gonna get the show canceled.
Like he has a song called Throwaway, which is like it has like it's like basically two songs. But like the first half is like kind of just a regular like trap banger, and then it gets into like this like slow like it's like a hate ballad where he's like talking about like this woman and just like his breakup, and he's just like I don't care who you're fucking anymore, and like he's like it like gets into like and it like he's like the famous line for it is like, mark my words, I will ball without you.
That's kind of cool.
But like the whole thing is like, it like the vibe is like sinister.
Okay.
But like,
what is it called?
Throwaway by Future. Okay. Like it will start out.
Yeah.
And like you won't think much of it, but then it gets to the beat switch.
Yeah.
And it's like.
The cover is crazy.
Yeah, for Monster.
Yeah.
That's the. But it also has like Codeine Crazy, which is like.
I know that. Yeah.
That song is awesome. That's like a genuinely like storytelling song. Like he's like, it just like really gets into like his headspace of like drug use and just like sex addiction and just like kind of. He's like, you know, like he started the wave, but like I think he's like the most interesting out of all these artists, and I think like.
I find that to be the case a lot of times.
Yeah, and like I think like genuinely like even if you don't like that kind of music, like he's worth listening to just because like. You know, like he really like he's like like I was like recommending like Mr. Murr and like rap albums, and I was thinking like maybe I should recommend him a Future album, like because it's like I feel like you can artistically appreciate that a lot,
for
more
sure
than other ones.
I think I this like just reminded me of something kind of off topic, but like you know how people still complain about like mumble rap and stuff like that. Like I feel like that is like so outdated now because I mean I think the whole complaint there is that it's like kind of oversaturated. Like there's just like a lot of it. I feel like that is more accurate to say about something like hyperpop. Like I could understand that more. Um, but I think that's like an interesting parallel because I feel like 100 gecs is maybe like the future equivalent, or something like that. And I do feel like they're among some of the groups that have actually done interesting stuff. The most. But yeah.
Which like hyperpop trap is like probably even more oversaturated.
I feel like because it's easier to throw on, like people just like will
also
play
it's
whatever.
Easier to make. Trap is like can be like you can just like throw like 808s and hi hats. Like a sample, and you kind of gotta you can make a pretty good trap.
I remember as a young high schooler, anytime I heard a triplet beat, like or like the like
triplet flows.
Like that kind of thing. I was like, I hate this song. Like I just immediately hate it because I just like associate it with like the most annoying people. But I think I mean I'm more mature than that at this point. So I definitely like to give him a listen.
But yeah, Future's awesome. Highly recommend listening to him. I imagine people who've listening to this, a lot of you have, because he's like worldwide famous. But like, for you specifically, you should listen to Future.
I need someone to tell me that. Dope. Okay. Well, I guess we're getting into our last stuff now. I think before I say my thing, I'm gonna do honorable mentions. I'm gonna do one for each of the categories that I talked about. So starting with books, Butcher's Crossing. I just finished that book for book club. Awesome book. Really enjoyed it. It's a Western, but it's like a new take on the genre.
Okay.
Cool one. For manga, this is like, I mean, I think this counts, but Hunter x Hunter.
Okay.
Came out with like 10 chapters this year after a 2-year hiatus. And they were really good. They were really good chapters, and it's like, I don't know, it like sucks how the author has all these like health problems, and like they're being drip fed and stuff. But I just like seriously respect it. It was almost like my one that I would talk about, but I just feel like it's only 10 chapters, so it's kind of hard to. But I just think I really respect the fact that he's like not compromising it despite all his issues, if that makes sense. Like I feel like it'd be very easy for an author to just be like, and then everything ended like immediately, but he's like still taking his time and making it kind of like go more or less. I feel like the pacing that it would have gone had he not had all his health problems. So I think that's really cool. Respect him for that. Video games, I would say Metaphor ReFantazio. I haven't actually played a lot of it. Like I played like I think maybe like 8 hours or 10 hours of it or something. Micah gave it to me for my birthday. Shout out Micah. But I haven't played enough of it, I think, to like say stuff. But I've been really clicking with it, and I really really like it from what I have played. And then albums, I'd say Britpop, like the A.G. Cook album that came out. I really like it. It's the one that I listen to the most. And like I just love A.G. Cook's vibe. I will say though, it's like not like the reason why I chose MGMT over Britpop is I just feel like Britpop wasn't like breaking any new ground in a lot of ways. Like I feel like I really like the stuff that A.G. Cook makes, and I think it's like a comfortable noise for me, like the PC music vibe, but like not doing as much new or interesting as like the MGMT album is, in my opinion. But last thing, number one thing that I'm talking about, it's a movie. And it's Challengers.
I think I knew you were gonna say because I knew you talked about how much you liked it.
I love Challengers. It's like I think kind of similar to Bellatra and Future in that it's like it's not that deep. But it's just like I don't know. It's just like simple pleasure. You know what I mean? Have you seen it?
No, I haven't.
Okay, it's just like a simple really enjoyable. Also, that album was in like I think my top 10 most or top 5 most listened to
Trent
albums.
Reznor, right?
Yeah. Really really good soundtrack.
Yeah, I've heard.
But yeah, it's just like a very simple premise.
Isn't it the Call Me by Your Name guy?
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Luca Guada or no?
Is a last name that I can't pronounce.
Yeah, but anyway, Call Me by Your